Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be solving the 061022 February-March 2017 paper. This is part 2, so if you want part 1, go ahead and check out the video which I've made earlier. I will link it down in the comment section below. This video is being made as per the request of one particular person. So if you have any requests for any videos, let me know down in the comment section. So I had solved until question number 17. In part 1. So let's move on to question number 18 in part 2. Now let's look at the question. The graph shows the rate and depth of a person's breathing before exercise. Volume in air in 2.0, the lungs during breathing in dm cube. Okay. Now this shows that this is before exercise. So you can see that it's almost constant and moving at a constant rate because it's before exercise and nothing rigorous is being done. Now let's look at the question. Which graph shows the rate and depth of breathing of the same person immediately after a period of exercise? Now you can see that the breathing is high, but it's not very quick. So the body is now slowly adjusting. And this is wrong because it shows that they're breathing less but at a higher rate. So that's wrong. This shows that they're breathing less at a constant rate, which is not the case. So imagine yourself exercising. After you're done with an exercise, you're breathing heavily. So that means that you're breathing at a faster rate. You're taking more breaths per minute. So the correct option is going to be C for us, but D is definitely incorrect. Okay, question number 19. In an experiment, 3 glass bell jars were set up as shown in the diagram. Okay. At the end of an experiment, which bell jar has the most oxygen and which has the least? Now we can see that plant P is left in sunlight for 8 hours. Now plants, when they're left in sunlight, they photosynthesize. And this produces O2. Now the bell jar in air contains oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen and water vapor. Or we can write it as H2O gas. So that's definitely does not have the most oxygen because it has a lot of substances. But photosynthesis produces oxygen, so and it has a cork. So all the oxygen is still over here. Now air from the lungs contains the most amount of carbon dioxide because you've just respired. O2 has been used up and to produce ATP, right? So the correct option for question number 19 is B. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 20. What are the products of anaerobic respiration in muscles? Now for this, you should know this, so you should have learned this chapter. There's not really much of explanation for this, but it's lactic acid only. It has an equation for respiration. If you're interested, let me know in the comments if you want me to do a video on that. Moving on. Which substance remains in the blood as it passes through the kidney? Now salts are processed in the kidney, so it's not salts. Urea is removed using the kidney. Water does not go through the kidney. So the correct option is for 21 is A, protein. Protein remains in the blood and it does not get filtered through the kidney. Let's move on to question number 22. Now in question number 22, the diagram shows the mechanisms that control the concentration of glucose in the blood. Okay. Which row identifies the glands and hormones labeled W, X, Y, and Z? Now for gland W, you will notice that the blood sugar is rising. Now since the blood sugar is rising, which organ regulates the blood sugar? It is the pancreas by producing insulin. So there's pancreas for C and D. It's definitely not A or B. So we can look at C and D. Okay, first one is pancreas. Now it goes, we have to look at hormone X next. So hormone X is something which is produced to lower the glucose concentration. Now glucagon is not that, so as we discussed earlier, it is insulin. So the correct option for question number 22 is D. Let's move on to question number 23. Which row shows the effects of increased adrenaline release? You should know this one as well. So the breathing rate increases, pulse rate increases, and the pupil widens. What happens when adrenaline increases is the blood pressure increases, which results in breathing rate rising, pulse rate rising, and pupil widening. So the correct option for 23 is D. Question number 24. The graph shows the rate of photosynthesis of a plant changes with light intensity at 3 different carbon dioxide concentrations. In each case, the temperature is 15 degrees Celsius. What is the limiting factor for the rate of photosynthesis at point X on the graph? Okay, you can see the carbon dioxide. You can see again carbon dioxide and then carbon dioxide. Now at this point, at point X, the light intensity we can say changes with light intensity. So we're investigating the light intensity. So it's definitely not light intensity. Yeah, and they say the temperature is constant, right? So it's definitely not the temperature. Now the surface area of the plant doesn't really matter because it is the same plant, right? So the correct option is A. As you can see, 0.04, it's over here. But as the concentration increases to 0.10%, the rate of photosynthesis increases. So the limiting factor at point X, remember, point X is carbon dioxide. So correct answer for 24 is A. Let's move to question number 25. What is an advantage of asexual reproduction for a population of flowering plants in the wild? A disease is less likely to affect the whole population. Now that is sexual reproduction, but they're asking us for asexual reproduction, so it's not A. Large numbers of offsprings can be produced quickly. Now that is correct. Pollen can be easily transferred within the same flower. Now that is incorrect because the chances of having sexual reproduction with pollen is much easier. The offspring shows genetic variety. That is incorrect because the same plant, if it's asexual, the same plant is reproducing without the help of any other plant. So the correct option is B. Moving on to question number 26. During sexual reproduction in plants, what will give rise to the greatest variation in offsprings? All of the flowers on the same plant have male and female reproductive organs. Now that is incorrect because that is not sexual reproduction. That will become asexual reproduction. Question B. The anthers and stigmas on the same plant mature at the same time of the year. Again, that's for asexual reproduction. There are separate male and female flowers on the same plant. Now that does not matter. There are separate male and female plants. Now this will give greatest variation in the offspring because the genetics will change. For example, one plant can have, let's say, T, and the other can have TT if they're two different plants. But if it's the same plant, both will have TT and TT, which will result in all 4 plants possibilities being a TT, whereas over here it will be a 50% chance. Now if you have no idea about what I'm saying over here, just comment it down below and I will release a video on genetics. Now the correct option is D. The diagram shows, 27, the diagram shows the head of a sperm. Okay, what is the function of structure X? A, it carries genetic information. Now that is incorrect. Only the nucleus can carry genetic information. It controls the activities of the sperm cell. Now that is also incorrect because it's not a nucleus. It is involved in the digestion of the ovum cell membrane. Yes, that is the correct option. And it provides energy for movement. That's incorrect. That is the mitochondria over here. So the correct option is C. Okay, 28. Which hormone is given to women undergoing fertility treatment? Now the correct option for this is B, FSH. Adrenaline is produced in the body. Insulin is to regulate the glucose level, and estrogen is something it's a hormone which is produced in the female body. So it's not that. So FSH is the correct answer. Now there are different ways by which you can approach an MCQ. It's either by you know the answer or you can eliminate the other 3 options if you are unsure about what the answer is. So we can follow 2 different processes depending on whether we know the answer or not. 29. The diagram represents the fusion of sperm and ovum at fertilization. Okay, ovum, sperm, fertilization and cell X. Which description of cell X is correct? Now diploid, what does diploid mean? Diploid means 46. 46. Now that is diploid gamete and diploid zygote. Gametes, you should remember, have only 23 chromosomes. So the offsprings get 23 from the mom, 23 from the dad, which ends up at 46. That's how we all have 46 chromosomes. So the correct option is not A. B is correct. Haploid means 23 automatically, 23. So both of these are incorrect. So the correct option is B. That's an easy question. Question number 30. A cell with 16 chromosomes divides twice by mitosis. Okay. How many chromosomes does each of the resulting cells contain? Now you should remember that it's dividing twice, right? And it's dividing by mitosis. Mitosis is the replication, and meiosis is when it divides into two halves. So they're just using this to confuse you. The correct option is still 16 because mitosis does not change anything genetically. Number of chromosomes remain as at 16. Moving on to question number 31. A man of genotype LA-LO and a woman of genotype LB-LO have a child. What is the chance that the child will have the same blood group as one of its parents? Okay. This is interesting. We can draw the Punnett square for this. LA-LO. This LB-L. Sorry, LO. So this LB. IB, that's an I, my bad. IBIA, there's an IBIO, there's an IAIO, and there's IOIO. Okay, let's look at the possibility. Now this is 1. Okay, and this is IAIO, yeah. This one and this one, this is different. So the correct option for this question number 31 is C, 1 and 2, because this is 1 out of 2, right? Moving on to question number 32. Which human phenotype is affected by environmental and genetic factors? Now, phenotype is the external features and not the internal features. So, blood group is not affected by environmental factors. It's purely dependent on what blood groups your parents are, because I can't decide one day that I want to get my blood changed, right? Gender, that's also not possible. Tongue rolling, that is decided by genetics, but that's actually very arguable these days because many people can roll their tongues. Now the correct option is B, body size, because it depends on the sports you play, etc. Question number 33, which adaptation may be present in a xerophyte? Now you should know this by heart, so the correct option is C. So stomatal hairs and rolled leaves. Now what is a xerophyte? Xerophytes are plants that live on or live in dry areas like cactus. It's the opposite of hydrophytes. Okay, moving on to question number 34. How does artificial selection differ from natural selection? Now this is a very good question, alright. Selection changes the characteristics of living things, okay. Selection is based on genetic variation. These two are actually incorrect. Selection is not based on adaptation to the environment. That is also it is correct. Okay, selection occurs over many generations. No, because it's artificial selection. Remember that. So correct option for this is C. Question number 35. The diagram shows the energy present in a food chain. All right. What percentage of energy present in the producer is transferred to the secondary consumer, right? Now the correct option for this is actually C. You should know this. Which process results in loss of nitrates from the soil? The correct option for this is C. Now see, look at this question. Loss of nitrates. It doesn't involve nitrates, no nitrates, nitrification, no. That sounds like something which makes nitrates, right? But denitrification sounds like something that breaks down nitrates, right? So you know that the correct option is C. So if you're ever stuck with an MCQ, go ahead and eliminate the other 3 options. Question number 37. During the exponential log phase of a sigmoid growth curve, which factor limits population growth? Okay, now what happens? This is a sigmoid curve, if you didn't know. there's a lag, log, okay, death. Okay, so over here what happens is it is actually the rate of reproduction, because over here in the log phase, they are multiplying in a logarithmic manner. For example, in bacteria, they reproduce every 20 minutes. So you can imagine. So rate of reproduction is what is limiting the population growth, or the time taken to reproduce. Question number 38. Genes are isolated from human DNA. Okay, we're just going to give the answer for this one because I'm running out of time. Is D. Question number 39. How does cutting down trees contribute to the greenhouse effect? There will be less carbon dioxide absorbed. That's obvious. And question number 40. I think that's the last one, yeah. Question number 40. Which graph shows the effect of pollution by untreated sewage on the amount of oxygen dissolved in a river? Now for 40, the correct answer is A. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and comment down below what I should post next. Bye bye.